Hello and welcome back to the Digital Pulpit, your trusted source for all essential updates on the Zimbabwe exemption permit, waivers, and the transition to the general work visa. We know you have missed us and we owe you an apology. We've been off air for the past few weeks due to other commitments that kept us from bringing you the updates you need. But guess what? We are back and we are back for good. And we are coming back stronger than ever. So tell a friend to tell a friend that the Digital Pulpit is back and we are here to stay. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with anyone you know who needs guidance on their ZEP application journey. Now let's dive into today's episode. Over the past few weeks, we have received an overwhelming number of calls and messages from you, our listeners, and asking for clarification on the requirements for the waiver process and the general work visa transition. It seems many of you are struggling to get clear answers, and that's completely understandable. So today, we are going to focus on breaking down these requirements step by step so that by the end of this episode, you shall have a solid understanding of what is expected and what you need to prepare and how to avoid common pitfalls and mistakes. Now, let's move on to the general work visa requirements. This is the visa that most ZEP holders will need to transition to, especially since we don't qualify for the critical skills visa. Again, this information I'm about to give is based on the experience I got when I was doing my own application, and is the requirements that I used for the success of my submission. All right, so what do we need? Let's go back to what the checklist say. This is the checklist that I got when I had filled in the form. Then after I had paid the required amount, this is the checklist that I got from VFS. So this is what we need to go through. What do you need on this form and what is not relevant to us? Let's start with bullet point number 1. You see, it's a duly completed online form. That is, you need it. There is no two ways about it. A valid passport, that is not even in question. With no less than 30 days, your passport must not have less than 30 days on it. That should be even straightforward. The application is being submitted in person no less than 60 days. That is also straightforward. Yellow fever vaccination certificate, if the person traveled, this we don't need because we are within South Africa and we are not traveling anywhere else. That is a yellow fever red zone, so we don't need this stipulation doesn't apply for us. The police clearance certificate issued, this you don't need to worry about as well, because on the money that we will pay, the 3,500 odd rand, 3,500 something rand, the police clearance fee is done there already. Is there, that money is within that 3,500 something that you need to pay, so you don't need to worry about this. Then the first of the things that we need to worry about, the medical report and the radiological report. These two is not necessary to have two of these. You need to have one of those. So I say in my submission, I just went with the medical report. So that was that. The second part of the questions is the marriage certificate in case of a foreign spouse. This applies if you are going to do a spousal visa. Since we are doing ZEP, we don't need to worry about this as well because we are already in a different regime. Then the affidavit where a spousal relationship, this and the first point, they go together. A divorce decree, you don't need a divorce decree, you don't need to worry about that. Court order granting full specific parental responsibility where applicable. you don't need, it's not applying on this one. Death certificate in respect of the late spouse is not applicable. We don't worry about this. Consent from both parents and full parental responsibilities. This is only if you are including the children. If you are including your children, then they need to be that consent from both parents. Proof of adoption, again, if it's applicable, if you need that. Legal separation order, again, if you need that. Then the first of the undertakings. Remember, there are 4 undertakings that you need to write. And again, in the previous video, we did mention that the person writing the undertakings can just write all the 4 undertakings in one letter to say, I so and so, I'm accepting responsibility, which is the first undertaking, is the accepting of the responsibility of the cost of deportation. The other undertaking is to ensure that the passport of the employee is valid at all times. That's the second undertaking. The third undertaking is third from last, an undertaking by the employer to inform the Director General should the applicant not comply. That also should you should go on to that undertaking list. And the last undertaking is to inform the Director General upon the employee no longer working in the same capacity or in the company. So these undertakings need to be written. There is no need for the employer to write 4 different undertakings on 4 different letters. He just need to write them on one letter, and then he sign. This is also what I did with my application. Then the proof of qualifications from SAQA that we have applied for waiver for, and the minister is waiving this. And then the certificate of labor, certificate of Department of Labor, that also we have I believe we have applied for a waiver as well for this. Most of us applied for this particular stipulation and regulation, the requirement for when we were doing our waiver. So we did apply for this, but now the minister has added the SAQA evaluation regulation as well, requirement to the waiver. So this is being waived. Then the full particulars of an employer, guys. All these what we are saying applies both to those who are working for individuals and those who are working for companies. The difference is that for individuals, you just need to write an affidavit. The employer need to write an affidavit to say you are permanently employed. Then he provide the undertakings. The companies now, you need to have different things. You need to have proof of registration of the business, particulars of the employer, and the company profile. They call it the company background. So all those things that we used to apply for the waiver will come in handy. We still use that same pack that you did when you're applying for your waiver to go and apply. So in this instance, you only adding the undertakings that are a bit more, and what else is added from what you did from waiver, and the medical report. You are adding the medical report and the undertakings. But most of the documents that we used for applying for the waiver are still needed. So this is just an addition to what we used for applying for the waiver. And also the proof of payment for the application fee. That is a given. They have always wanted it when you are doing your submission. It is important, guys. It is very, very important that we do this, and we do this early, guys. don't wait until the last minute to gather documents. These processes take time, and don't for um, don't uh, don't hesitate to ask for professional help if you need, because the application for waiver is a bit easier, but the application for this is quite tedious. I'm telling you, to apply onto the form is very very tedious. So you need to ask for help if you are getting that you don't know what is where you need to do. So ask for help. The other thing is the situation about these guys is constantly evolving. So stay informed by following official updates from the Department of Home Affairs, or by tuning to this podcast so for all the latest development. That's it for today, guys. We hope you have clarified some of the confusion around the requirements. If you have any further or need more guidance, don't hesitate to reach us out on social media or through our in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, family, and anyone who might benefit from this information. We are back and will be here every step of the way to guide you through the process. Thanks for tuning in, and this is Simon signing off. See you in the next episode. God bless.